Yeah, do I have a rant in me today? Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, no, keep the camera going.
Rant of the week.
The rant of the week. Well, I don't know, it's become a YouTube phenomenon. What are we going to do about it? I mean, it is a timely thing to contemplate what it really is about, you know, teachers and authority figures that we you know, project onto, and you know, it just I've been following some of the stuff that's been out there on the internet and all of that. You know, I don't know John very well. I've met him a few times at conferences, and we've had a chance to chat a little bit. And I was at Estes Park in Colorado the year before last, which is when they had the grand gathering, the Anusara grand gathering. And it did seem, you know, a little cultish to me. But, you know, I have a pretty low threshold for cultism. You know, I'm not a fan, really, of these situations where there tends to be one person who's sort of the figurehead. You know, it's a very dangerous place to be psychologically. And I've seen it over and over again so consistently that, you know, every single time a group or an organization kind of gets built around a single person, there's always this intense suffering that occurs when this person is shown to be not only human, but sometimes, you know, deeply flawed human. And it made me think about Desikachar, my teacher, and the things that I've seen him do over the years to deflate those situations. One of my first strong impressions of him actually was the year after I met him, and the seminars that I was attending, this is back in like 87, 88, 89, there were a series of seminars, large seminars that were being organized for Desikachar to teach here by a group called Yoga America. And this was a group of Desikachar's senior students who had come together for the purpose of, number one, bringing Desikachar over for these seminars where he could teach, but also there was a certification program that was being organized by Yoga America. And I was very keen on getting involved in that because I knew that this was the tradition that I wanted to study in, and I wanted to learn from Desikachar. And this was the way to do it. And what happened was very interesting. At one of these seminars at Colgate University, it was the summer after I met him, you know, and they were just getting the certification thing rolling. You know, they were just about to start it, really. You know, they'd had all these meetings and come up with the curriculum and who was going to teach what and all of that. And of course, Desikachar was the main teacher of it. They were going to start certifying people in this tradition in America. And he called this meeting of everyone who was there for this seminar, which was before the thing got started. And he announced that he didn't want to have anything to do with certification. And he explained that he felt like there was something happening here that was getting in the way, that was becoming an obstacle to him having the sort of one-on-one individual relationships with his students that he had enjoyed all those years. You know? And this, after all, is the essence of the teaching. There was something, he had concluded, that was antithetical to the teachings themselves about offering something called certification in this method, because you had to standardize and you had to develop a curriculum and all of that, and it was just rubbing him the wrong way, you know. And he had let the process go so far that it was right on the cusp of this whole program getting started, and everyone had signed up and this and that, and he had the courage to say, no, I don't want to have anything to do with certification. And in addition to that, I would like it very much if Vini Yoga America would dissolve itself. And people were just going crazy. They were absolutely tweaked out of their minds by this. Now these are his senior students. I was a new person. I was the new kid on the block. But there were these people who had been studying with for years, and they put all this energy into creating Vini Yoga America and the certification program and these seminars. And here he was just like blowing it all apart. And I had nothing but intense admiration for him in that moment when I saw him doing this. And I mean, it was easy for me to have admiration because I didn't have anything invested in it. I wasn't part of Vini Yoga America, and it wasn't like he was going to stop teaching. I was going to keep learning from him. It just wasn't going to be in this certification program. I was like, fine, I only wanted to be in the certification because it was a chance to study with him. But other people were very, very deeply invested in this, and he just blew it to pieces. And years later, shortly after we started this place, he sent a message around to everyone saying, look, I don't like this word Vini Yoga at all. Never did. Stop using it. In other words, if you want to have a connection with me, I request that you stop having a connection with this word, this brand, this name, Vini Yoga. At that point, he was essentially turning the word over to Gary Kraftsow as being the only legitimate person, the only person using that term legitimately, which continues to this day. In America, anyway. The Europeans had a whole other connection with Vini Yoga. So all through the years, whenever I've observed him having an opportunity to step into this role as sort of the guru or the head guy, or to have an organization under him, he blew it apart. And more than that, on an individual level, when I've had my dealings with him one-on-one, whenever I so desperately just wanted him to tell me what it was, to give me an answer, and I was struggling mightily at various times in our relationship with some of these really fundamental concepts that I just couldn't quite make work for me. And I just wanted to know the answer. He never, ever gave me an answer. All he would say is, what does your experience tell you about this issue? What do you think? And that's very powerful. It wasn't what I wanted to hear in the moment, but it was what I needed to hear in the long term. And it shows an extreme maturity on his part as a teacher to have been able to deal with me that way. And I can't speak for anyone else that has studied with him, because every person has had their own connection with him and their own issues over the years, perhaps. But for me, this is the thing that shines through in the way he dealt with me, And it's very powerful because, I have never felt anything other than absolutely, completely naked in front of this man. Naked in like he sees everything. All the things that I work so hard to keep other people from seeing, I always knew on a deep level that he was able to see them. And yet, he never based any interaction with me on any of that. He always based his interactions with me on the absolute certainty. He would call it faith. I would call it confidence or certainty. That I could come up with the answers I needed for myself. And I put this in a letter to him that I wrote to him on the 10th anniversary of our student-teacher relationship. And I said to him, of all the things you've said that have had a profound impact on me, upon reflection, what I realized that what's had an even more profound impact was all the things you could have said but didn't. And that's very powerful. And that's what I've been thinking about this past week, reading about, the this community, this Anusara community that's going through such an intense time right now, and is looking for ways to come together as a community and to heal themselves. And hopefully John is looking for ways that he can heal himself and heal the trust between him and his teaching community. It just made me think of my teacher and all the reasons why I've come to respect so much over the years the way he's conducted himself in these group situations, as I described, but also in dealing with me. So, not much of a rant, really, but it's timely, and it's what I've been thinking of. So there you have it. So, thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.